Okay, this morning, good way to start off your morning. Working on a Navien. There's a water heater right there. There's a Combi right there, and it's for space heat. And I'm flashing the code over here. I don't know why. We'll figure that out in a minute. But I think it might be they're twin together. They're cascaded, so it's coming up with the code. But here's our piping. Get some light on that. So today I gotta replace the three-way valve, and the valve sits on top of that pipe. So we gotta take out the pump. Gotta take out a whole bunch of piping. So I'll kind of try to take you along as much as I possibly can here. It's real tight. So let me get it apart. Okay, got the cover off. Now, to get to this part, I have to take the control board off, the pump, a bunch of piping. You can't see that part, but it sits way. You see that black thing back there? That's what I gotta get to. And yeah, the reason why it failed is I can see it's leaking out the top, so it damaged the motor. So what I did to get them heat is I popped the motor off and screwed the valve all the way up so we could use the space heating instead of the what you want to call it, the braze plate, since it's a Combi unit. So let me get back there. I'm gonna have to take all the stuff out of here. So really, these things are great, but this is the only thing I hate about it, is doing repairs on these. Well, unfortunately, when this gentleman installed this, we didn't install this unit. He didn't leave any room for service. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can do here. I'm draining the heat exchanger out right onto the floor. There's nothing I can do. But we got the board out of the way, zip tied it out of the way. You gotta pop this pump out. Wow. Only thing I hate about Naviens. So, we'll get into it a little more. Alright, to get this pump out, you get two screws underneath that hold this bracket in. You got another two screws that hold the drain in right here. And then you got this clip back here. This one clips. There we go. Take the clip out. It's jammed in there, great. Lots of room, lots of room. Okay. Had to take the air vent off of it too. That goes right at the top there, the top of the pump. Unscrew this, and this will lift up a little and slide out. Oh crap, more water. So there's the pump. So the part I got to get to is right here, that three-way valve. So I got to pull that clip, and looks like I'm taking this off, unscrewing that, pulling that clip, and unscrewing it from the bottom. I got two screws right there, one there and one in the back. My screen for my, this is like a, there's a screen in here for maintenance that looks pretty clean, so I'm not going to screw with that. I gotta take the trap out, clean that. So let me get this bugger out of here. Okay, got the old one out. I had to take that brass fitting off the old one, put it on the new one. Yeah, these are a common failure on this Navien unit, on the CH series, and I think this one's a NPE newer model, but as you can see, it was leaking out the top here, and little actuator motor. This thing is actually frozen, so a little leak out of the top caused the darn thing to freeze up. So here's the valve we're putting back in, and put new O-rings. Everything with this unit's put together with O-rings, so I put new O-rings on this, put a new gasket down there, that blue gasket, and it just sits on top. So what we'll do is we'll get this thing put back together, slide that on there like so. That slides in there. That's the bottom of it. Then we'll get it screwed on there and get everything back together. Okay, I got it in. If you're going to do any kind of work on these Naviens and you got to replace that valve, you need one of these flexible bits and something that swivels at the top, because those screws are buried back here. There's one buried all the way in the back behind the pipe, so I had to take the union off just to try to get it to screw on. So now I'm putting everything back together. I gotta put my pipe. Let's put this in really quick. There we go. Those just slide together with O-rings. Put this on. That's it. That slides together there. Oh, there's my other retainer. Oh, here it is. The retainer's here. There, that's good there. Now, got to put my pump back in. Here's where the pump hooks up to right there. You slide it in there and you screw it back down. Yeah, I'm about an hour into this thing. It's just tedious work. So let me get the pump back in and get some water to it and check for leaks. Let's see. Got an O-ring at the top. Okay, we'll go from there. Alright, let's take the condensate trap out. I guarantee this thing's full of crap. Let's see. Actually, it's not bad. Usually they get so bad, they get all freaking gummed up at the bottom. See all that garbage? So we gotta get that cleaned out. And then we'll put it right back up in there. Okay, now the fun part. See if I got any leaks. Usually I don't, but let's see what happens. Yeah, we got a leak all the way in the back. Son of a gun. I gotta rip everything out. Christ. It's all the way back there. See it back there in the brass. Alright, well, let me rip it apart again. This is all part of a Navien with these O-rings trying to get them all seated right. Let's see what happens. Okay, I couldn't get this thing sealed back up, so I had to run and go get some, the manufacturer recommended some plumber's grease. So what I'll do is I'll grease this up around here and grease the O-ring up and see if that holds Hopefully it does, because I don't have another O-ring. And this thing's not cracked. It should be alright. It's a little deformed. See, it's got a little taper to it, if you can tell. So let's get this greased up and get it back together and see if this helps. Well, let's see what happens. Back, it was leaking back to that silver clip back there. If you can see it. It was leaking right there. Had to take the whole darn thing apart and then put grease on it. As you guys seen, let's get some pressure on it and see what it does. Cross your fingers. Don't see anything yet. Don't see any leaks anywhere else. Okay. Let's get it, let's try to get a little, let me get this thing back together and get a little more pressure on it and see what it does. I hope it sticks. Well, looks like we got it with the plumber's grease. I'm getting, I got 10 pounds of pressure on it, so I'm doing good. So, yeah, it's just a real pain getting that thing back there. So let's get her up and running. Get my control panel back in and go from there. Okay, now we finally got this darn thing back up and running. All the air purged out of it. It's got an air purge mode. Anytime it goes down to 0, it goes into air purge mode for the PSI. There we are, firing. Let's see. Nice hot there, nice cold there. There's my T's for my loop. So, she's back up and running. Fun 3-way valve on a Navien NCB. Alright guys, like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Actually, I gotta come back and do some venting. I gotta change this PVC to CPVC because of higher exhaust temperatures. They installed it wrong, so, but anytime you get into high exhaust temperatures on boilers, you got to have, you can't use foam core, you can't use PVC, you got to use CPVC. So, this one's all set. Alright, thanks for watching guys, like and subscribe.